Ready? Everybody find your roommates, okay? Bring it up. Adam, you want it there? Yeah.
Do you want the microphone there? Yeah, you do. If the microphone's... You see the mouse? Oh, yeah.
Bring it closer this way. Yeah, bring it. Now, that's going to tip over. Mike and Dave for playing for us. And thanks to Rachel that made this chuppah by herself, and it's a very special thing. So thank you again. And my name is Eyal, I'm Moni's brother. I'm going to host the ceremony. I'm very glad to be here. I love you guys. Adam, you're like my brother, so I'm glad to be here with you. Everybody here?
There's a microphone beside you, man. I'll show you.
Okay, better now? Okay, so thank you to Mike and Dave for playing for us, and for Rachel for making this special chuppah. Many hugs and kisses from Israel, Ronnie and Adam, from Dad and Guy and all the rest of the family. And we would like to start, so I would like to invite Tab, Paola, Dave, and Johnny to hold the chuppah. Okay. I said Johnny also. Okay. You want to do it? You good? Okay. I just want to say a few things like of mine. That I think that this very special atmosphere here really reflects your, like, Ronnie and Adam's relationship. It's like I don't have anything to say more than that. He just explains everything, so it's amazing here. And I would like to invite Ronnie and Adam to tell their story.
Hi. Okay, can you guys hear me? I'm a little excited. Okay, so some of you probably heard the story already. Some with full details and some with less, but it's a great story and it's obviously shaped my life into what it is today, so I'm going to tell it to you again. the story of how I met this guy. It was almost 9 years ago. I went to visit a good friend in a magical kibbutz in the south of Israel, in the middle of the desert, an organic vegetarian farm. What else could I ask for, right? Wait, give me a second. Well, I didn't know what else was waiting for me out there. It was my first or second day, I believe, and I was working at, well, the kitchen, of course. In the kibbutz, you don't talk during the meals, just enjoy the food and some quiet time. I was bringing food out from the kitchen and serving into the tables, and there he was, this beautiful man with his deep blue eyes. We both looked at each other and smiled right away, and as I kept coming in and out of the kitchen, we kept looking at each other, staring and smiling, but not being able to talk. Then, at the end of the meal, we both walked outside and just walked right towards each other. Now, you know, usually when two people meet at first, especially a man and a woman, there's some awkwardness, but no, we were just like, hello, who you are, what's your name, what's your story? It was really great. And let me tell you, it was very romantic. I just spilled a whole can of tomato juice on myself in the kitchen, and Adam was working with the goats, and well, he was covered with all kinds of stuff, and but it didn't matter. We were just standing there, dirty as filth, and I remember that exact moment very clearly. I was looking at you, and my heart just told me, this man is going to be in your life forever. And I didn't know how yet, but I just felt it, that you're always going to be there. And there you are, always there. We became great friends right away, lovers in potential, but things didn't work out for a little bit. I think we both had some stuff we had to figure out at first. And then, well, Adam's going to tell you what's going to happen then. But first, I just want to say something. When I first came to Canada, this was the only guy I knew. And since then, Adam's family welcomed me in an amazing way. And I feel so lucky to be surrounded with like such an amazing group of people, a community of my chosen family in Canada. You know, the one I chose. And I just love all of you guys so much. And Adam, I love you, and I love us, and I just love this.
Wow, that was beautiful. And as I look around here, I just see all these really amazing people that I also love. And, you know, we had a ceremony in Israel in the beach in Tel Aviv, and I was with Roni's family, and they were all so fantastic. And like my family to Roni, they just opened up their home and their hearts to me. And I'm so happy that Leah and Eyal came all the way from Israel to be with us here today. As many other people traveled long distances, and so, but thank you guys all for being with us. First of all, I want to say to you, Roni, thank you. Thank you for coming into my life. Thank you for talking to me after we met at the dinner in the kibbutz 9 years ago. Thank you for coming to Canada and for changing my life forever. Roni is not your average cookie. Most of you guys know this. She's an organic cookie. She's a vegan cookie. She's a spirulina infused health cacao cookie. And I think that she just makes your life, everyone she touches, she just makes their life so much better. And I'm just lucky enough to have more time than most with Roni, and so I just know how much she's made my life better. So as Roni said, I first saw Roni covered in tomato sauce. I wasn't doing much better. I was covered in goat poo. Lucky for me, as she explained, the one rule in the kibbutz was that you really couldn't speak during the dinner table. And everything. Otherwise, I probably would have gone into an apologetic speech about how bad goat poo smells or how good it smells. I don't know, but it probably would have ended right there. During the first few months, we became really good friends, and I think, we were friends, but we also developed this sort of love for each other. And it was something special because we were both away from home. She came, and I was away from Canada. And we just had this special opportunity to like open up our hearts to each other. And just, I think we really, from that moment on, supported each other. And it wasn't expected that necessarily we'd keep in touch, because I went back to Canada, she stayed in Israel, life happened. But Roni in particular is just so good at making sure that she keeps connections strong and vibrant. That's like a testament to everybody here today. I'm sure I help a little bit, but it's mostly Roni, because she's just so good with this stuff. So in September 2006, Jackie told me that I had to go to the Ship and Anchor at exactly, I think, 1 p.m. I remember thinking, okay, she wants me to stalk my ex-boyfriend. Her ex-boyfriend, sorry, the French-Canadian. Jackie's not the stalking type. This is not like typical of her, but there was just no other reason I could think of that she wanted me to go there. So I figured, okay, you know, this is going to be really weird, but I'm just going to go to the Ship and Anchor and look out for some guy.
Some guy.
I remember walking into that bar and thinking, okay, what am I doing here? And then a colorful Roni wearing a paisley multicolored shirt came running at me. We gave each other the warmest hug, and you know, I gave her a kiss too. I was overwhelmed as I am today with the gift that is standing next to me today. I'm not a huge believer in fate. I catch myself rationalizing odd coincidences in life. However, this meeting in this bar felt like fate. It felt like, despite all the barriers in life, including geography, 10,000 kilometers, family, language, life circumstance, timing, they were all meaningless because we just had to be together. We just needed to be together. And right then and there, I knew how this was it, and how lucky I was. So lucky to have a love that was without question, that was without doubt. What I mean is, I see so many people that are unable to find love for different reasons, but some of the reasons are that they're afraid of rejection, or you know, they feel vulnerable to heartbreak. I think when they do love somebody, sometimes it's actually really difficult to find a way to sort of demonstrate love in an all-encompassing way. And I was so lucky because Roni's one-way ticket really just took away any question of how she felt. But also it kind of took away any question of how I felt. So I knew right away that this is the person I want to spend the rest of my life with. Roni, in the 8 years that we've been together, we've gone on so many adventures. From playing with molten lava to hitchhiking in the Sinai Desert. You push me to live life to the fullest. You enrich my life by building a loving and a beautiful community of people that are here with us today, and who aren't here with us today but are in other places. Roni, I love you because your heart is always so genuine. I learned so much from you and the detail you put into making our home and our life beautiful. I'm so excited to continue this journey with you, and I can't wait for us to keep on growing this journey with a family and all the other exciting adventures you have planned for us. I love you.
Okay, so in a traditional Jewish ceremony, there's usually the 7 blessings. So Adam and Roni picked few people from their life that are going to speak about a few things that they find important. So at first, I would like to invite Sandy, Adam's mom, to talk about giving and courage.
Technologically, yeah. I'm so happy to be here with everybody for this amazing celebration of love. Roni and Adam's love for each other. Last year in Israel, many of us were here together to celebrate, and at that time my blessing started with a question that I thought Michael, Adam's dad, would have asked Adam and Roni. And this is what I thought he would have asked. Are you ready to open your heart and give all your love and risked being completely vulnerable to each other, trusting that each other would receive that precious gift of love. And of course, we know the answer is, yep. And I too, anyhow, Michael knew that you were the one. And we all witnessed to that as well. And I'll never forget your first trip, Roni, also to Calgary, following your heart, and that strong internal voice that said there's that special connection. To me, it took amazing courage and trust. Giving love so freely to another person always does, and to everybody's total joy, it was received with the same open heart, and the journey of love began in full. Giving fully of oneself while remaining complete and even more fulfilled requires that special bond and trust that Roni and Adam have. Both know how to do that selflessly. Over 2 years ago, Adam, with a full heart, donated part of his liver to his dad. It was risky for him, but Adam had no hesitation giving this gift if it meant that his dad could live longer and celebrate these kinds of things with him. Roni and I were really nervous and worried, but Roni only encouraged him because she knew that's what he needed to do. And even though we can't see Michael here, we know he's here. And in joy and spirit and love. And so happy you two together. This year, once again, I've seen you both give so much of yourself fully. Moving, renovating, starting school, cooking, planning this amazing event from scratch. The work that these guys have done this summer is unbelievable. And in the midst of all this, it was my mom's 90th birthday, and Roni and Adam had just come from her Savta's 80th birthday and said, we got to do something special for Gloria. We've got to do something amazing. So because of that, Adam and Roni were the catalyst to making the most amazing video of my mom's life, which all the other cousins put together, and it was just unbelievable. And she watched it over and over and over, and it was just so amazing. And it was because of Adam and Roni. And just last week, she had a stroke. I'm not going to talk too much about that, but Adam knew. He said, Mom, you have to call her. We need to talk to her. And in the midst of planning this amazing event, Roni made reservations, and Adam wrote eulogies, and they were just there. I mean, these two are magical. They have a magical gift. So watching the two of you grow together in your love is a source of joy and a little bit of entertainment for me as well. I must say, both Adam and Roni have very strong opinions and beliefs, and they don't always agree with each other. So it's quite interesting to watch them explain and negotiate and sometimes shake their heads in total frustration. But I've also seen, and this is, I think, a lesson for all of us, how they take each other's feelings, needs, and dreams seriously and work it out, giving each other the gift of love and trust. And while we're talking about giving, I just need to thank Adam so much again for giving me my other daughter, Roni, who will always be cherished in my heart. And I love you very much, and this celebration of love is truly a gift for all of us.
I would like to invite my mom, Roni's mom, Leah, to talk about happiness.
Dear Roni and Adam, when a new baby comes to the world, he brings with him a new feeling for his parents and close family. The baby's first smile makes the heart grow bigger and bigger with this feeling we call happiness. Every day, we wake up to the beauty of creation and give thanks to God for the sounds, the smells, the sights. All these things fill our hearts with happiness. This sound and lights up our faces. The unique thing about happiness is that it doesn't remain only within happy person and a happy person, but happy person makes the people around him happy as well. Adam and Ronnie, you gave us a lot of happiness, not just to us, but also to the world. We come today to celebrate with you, and we wish you to continue spreading the happiness of love, the happiness of life, and the happiness of doing good things. Our loved ones that passed away would want to see us happy and to remember them in their good times. In Judaism, it is a mitzvah to be happy. Mazal tov.
The next bless is going to be Adam's sisters, Jackie and Rocky, and they're going to speak about community.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Choreographed effort. I didn't lose my voice at karaoke last night, but it was close. Some people say that the success of your life can be measured by the people who love you. Earlier this week, in his eulogy to our dear grandma, Adam, I think, more accurately said that our lives are made more meaningful by the people that we love. We're here to do a blessing about community, and we just want to say also with the, as in humanity, the challenges that we face environmentally and socially, we know that community is maybe the most powerful tool that we have. So as we look around here at all these family and friends from everywhere, we know that the community that Adam and Roni have created spans all ages, all languages, and borders. So nobody generates community like Adam and Roni. Nobody generates these meaningful, lasting, loveful, is that a word? And joyful connections like Adam and Roni. People know what it means. It's a word. I want to share a memory with you guys that's going to take us back to Adam's first year, I think, in undergraduate at the University of Calgary. And I think it was also his first official leadership experience in creating a community. Adam started a club called Jam Hack Doodle. Basically, this was people jamming, hacky-sacking, and doodling. I think it was an official club, like it had a registry in the university. One might consider this club to sound like kind of stupid, or also an excuse to get stoned and not do your homework. But I thought about it, and really, Adam starting this club, he carved out a space for people to come together and celebrate life and some of the values most important to him, that when all this crazy stuff goes on as life throws at you, he brought people together to make music, create things, and be silly. And I think that's something we can all learn from Adam and Roni. Roni also has her own individual community building identity. When I met Roni, I knew that she was a brave, bold woman. She came here across the world alone. She was plotting and scheming and coming up with the best surprise. And they continue to do that. Everyone knows Adam and Roni and their big surprises. And she came here across the world, and her natural energy and her spirit, we all know, brings people to Roni. And so they bring people to Roni, and they feel known, and they feel like they've met somebody who can kind of see who they really are, and so they feel like with Roni they have a community. And so I think we all benefit from that. So I think we can all attest, especially everybody who was here last night. Can I see a hand if you sung karaoke?
You're here. Okay, there we go. So it's a measure of how fast Roni and Adam can make people feel warm, welcome, and create a space where they can just be themselves is how fast people picked up a mic last night, adorned themselves in ridiculous outfits, and made complete fools of ourselves in front of people they had just met. So in a blessing, sometimes you give advice, that kind of thing. But instead, we really just want to, welcome Roni to a community of sisterhood. Woo! You know, but even though Roni's been around for a long time in our lives. Already started stealing your clothes. Borrowing for the long term. But that means you have full access as well. Okay. Yeah. But also we want to, we don't have to advise or remind you both to love and value your community because we know, everyone here knows that community is who you both are, and you inspire us to see everybody, to bring everybody in, regardless of age or language or profession, anything, and to just open our hearts to more and more people in the world while holding the people we already have close. So we love you guys.
I would like to invite Uncle Dave to talk about family.
Thank you. Hi, I'm not going to pontificate about family, even though that was my assignment. Because as I look around, there are people who I've seen again in the briefest of exchanges here over what has been less than, 24 hours? A woman who can't dance, and I can't dance, and she wouldn't dance with me. Roni's mother. She can dance, she's just holding back. But there are people here in just the briefest of exchanges become what I think of as representations of family, because family is not centered in one note. For example, if you'd raise your hand when Jeff, I had gone for more than one, can I call them hot dogs? Okay. And Jeff covered my back when I went for one more. Okay. So then I can see faces here like Stan, who, when I think of my brother, when I hear about Israel, I cannot think of the exchanges that Mike would speak about, that he talked, my brother Mike, would speak about when he had conversations with Stan, which were heated and loving at the same time. And there are so many people here who touch me in that kind of way, and in the briefest of exchanges, I've had meetings with some. There was a little girl named Sophia, and she's probably in the crowd here somewhere. Oh, there she is. And she met me because she brought some snow to me, and she told me that if I touched the snow, I would feel better, because if I had a boo-boo, is that correct? Yeah, that I would feel better. In what she was doing, she was bringing family to being. What emerged here out of the growth of what has happened here over 24 hours, it hasn't been outsourced. It was amazingly organic and family. So I think family represents fundamentally something that is kind of a node in the representations of well-being and love and concern. As far as the protection of family, Johnny Depp once, I think, wrote that if anybody hurts a family member or someone they love, he'll eat them. Okay, he'll eat them, and even though he may go to jail for 500 years, he would eat them. And so it was Adam, who many years ago, as a young child, on the Venice beach, was given a sword by a balloon. You know, one of those guys who blow up the balloons? Okay. And he, as we were walking, all the family members, Sandy was, I think, all the kids, the cousin, we were all there. He was protecting us. And he also brought some caring and love to me this past year, approximately directly when he showed up and was extremely supportive. So I'd like to pass a card around of Adam that I got while I was at home for a little while. It came from overseas, and immediately I thought it was Adam, okay? And then the writing on the back, which I'll just read now, but you'll see the card in a minute. Oh, you'll see the card now. It does have a resemblance with your grandparents. Okay? And it reads, Dear Uncle David, this is the latest self-portrait of your nephew. I have forsaken all shampoo and put a lot of white clown makeup on my face so I can enjoy other, can I say this? Hindu seduce? This will be my last correspondence. But then he adds, see you in April. At the same time, speaking of family, we lost Gloria this past week, and I saw a drawing of Gloria made by her granddaughter Alyssa, which was really incredible. If you've seen that work, and there's also a picture about. So there are extended representations of family that come to us all the time. Here, I'm going to pass this around just in honor of my brothers, which is a picture of Adam and Michael, my brother. And just read a note here, because I couldn't say anything that was more profound than was many years ago in a song, and this is kind of a blessing. Come over 2 minutes. Okay. This was a song not written by Louis Armstrong. It may all be, the Blues Brothers are probably familiar with this. That's the guys. It wasn't written by Louis Armstrong, but it was given to him to record because he was the kind of man who brought people together. That's why this song was given to him. So you'll know, I wish I could sing, but I can't. And it's called What a Wonderful World. So this, to you, Roni and Adam, what a wonderful world. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry. I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Next gonna be Uncle Blackout, sorry. Rick and Ellen and Uncle and Ann to talk about commitment.
Hi, I'm Adam's Uncle Rick, Sandy's older brother. That's my wife Ellen. We could talk about commitment, but it's also about family too. To me, they're one and the same. I've got 4 daughters, and they're all here for you. So when Adam was born, I said to Sandy, he's my son. He's my son too. You will share him with me. And the same thing with you, Joey. Don't feel left out. So our commitment to you, Adam, is that we are always here for you and Roni, who from the moment you showed her and introduced her to us, she was part of our family as well. So we love you both, and we want to tell you what we think about commitment in terms of this kind of relationship.
Roni and Adam, we had the honor to watch your love and commitment blossom over the last few years.
It's easy to say things like, our love is forever, I can't live without you, I will always love you. But saying it is not enough. That's what Adam did last night, for those who didn't see him. Whitney Houston is rolling over. Saying it is not enough. You have to constantly work at it. Do things for each other without being told. Be there for each other in both the happy times and the sad times.
As you go through the twists and turns that life will bring you, just remember the easy turns that will get you through the rough times. That is what commitment is truly about. Just be each other's anchor and support.
I am not a philosopher, Adam, Roni. I am not a love expert. I'm not a relationship guru. Yeah, really.
Yeah, I know.
But I know commitment when I see it. Adam, your grandparents had it. Ellen and I have it. We know you two have it. You have what it takes. But knowing that, never take that for granted. Always continue to say, I love you, and hold and hug each other each and every day the rest of your lives.
Life's not always predictable. People change and grow, and the paths that you're starting on may change. But weather these changes, and it will only make your love stronger. We know the two of you will have what it takes for the long haul.
We love you, Adam and Roni. Our commitment to you and to your family is to always be there when you need us, and to love you unconditionally as you love each other. Thank you.
I would like to invite Brendan, Adam and Roni's Brendan, roommate and very good friend also, to talk about friendship.
Hi everybody. So I guess I know a thing or two about friendship. So back to like how I know all these people, most of you. I was walking on a beach in India, and this hottie here was like, hey you, do you want a piece of papaya? And I did, so I moved in with her when I got home. And I met all you guys, so that's awesome. So Danielle said to like speak this from the heart for you guys, but like Roni, you're like, when I get home every day, you're like a nice, like, you're like a field of flowers in bloom. Like that's what you give to me, you know, like it's like that's how I look at you. I was just thinking about that now. And like Adam, usually when I wake up in the morning, I wonder if like you are watching me in my sleep. And that's kind of our friendship. That's our understanding, you know? So I wrote you guys a little story. I wrote a story about friendship, and I really had to narrow it down. It's kind of like, it was long. And my girlfriend said it might not have been appropriate to say the whole thing. So I kind of like quartered it. All right? So, friendships. Today I've been asked by these two lovers and best friends to cover a subject that is in part the reason we celebrate today. is that thing that allows me to non-hesitantly enter the room of these two lovers while in the heat of intimacy and say, guys, I need some advice. I do that. It is that thing that helps these two lovers understand why I bring home the homeless and then allow them to borrow my car. I did that. It's that exchange of eye contact that says, I got you, bro, after doing the windmill naked in the middle of the Nevada desert. Bro. But it's also that thing that connects us all in this moment. Those things are friendships, but today I'll be explaining them with a little Brandini twist. I'm shaking. Because I'm so excited. Okay, metaphorical or non, I'll be speaking of the friend ships. Century-old vessels built for the purpose of accentuating human experience in an otherwise lonely and potentially colorless world. So every new constructed friendship's engine can only be first turned over and started from 100% papayas. Because of this, papaya symbolizes exploration and potential good times and is the first item gifted amongst newly acquainted friendships. Whoa, we'll skip all that other stuff. So, sometimes a friendship will smash into a relationship. This makes for a mucky situation. Relationships are much like friendships, but some are more poorly constructed and will only last a few weeks. Some last a long time. It all depends if they've been constructed from the same blueprints as a friendship before they start their elegant additions. The ships usually sit dormant until two friendships take it over. There are stories of even 3 or 4 friendships boarding a single relationship. This is what they call a poly ship. I don't know why. And most of all the crews on these ships are for some reason in bed all the time. Imagine that. Anyways, skip all that other stuff. There's these so-called harbors that for some remain a fictitious tale, a sort of mythical place sought by many, experienced by few. They cannot be mapped out because their coordinates are only beneficial to the friendships who locate them. These harbors can only be discovered duly by 2 friendships whose engines have run dry of papaya and whose mast sails take on the same current of wind. They call this wind understanding. These harbors, they harbor this thing called love, and at each of these harbors is 2 finely crafted friendships turned relationships whose sails no longer need to shift, whose anchors decide to set permanently. I once knew 2 of these friendships who discovered such a harbor. One friendship's crew was thought to have a form of Tourette's and were mostly losing their hair. They would always get in trouble at Asian supermarkets for making racist comments, and they sometimes hit on other friendships' aunts. Adam. The other ship was a deck full of dominant females. I never saw it, but I suspected these females of abusing these men. The men seemed to like being dominated, though, so it was okay. The women had lush brown skin and huge busts. The men were skinny with absent asses. The women were allergic to meat and had tails growing from the back of their heads. Anyways, with all the odd dissimilarities between the 2 ships, they somehow understood each other and got along, and this getting along thing they started calling love. And because of this love thing was so foreign, they decided to anchor in their ships alongside one another permanently and explore more of this thing called love. But there's one last part to this whole story. It comes at the end, last page, the end of the tale, but it's what makes the whole friendship take form. And I'm going way back to the very beginning of how a friendship is even made possible, even before its design is brought to fruition. You see, in a harbor of love, a melody will sometimes enter the calm. We don't know where it comes from, but it increases libido. They call this libido increase inner circle. You guys gonna catch on? Some believe that maybe the melody reacts with something in the papaya in or near the genitals of the harbored patrons. It's actually the same illness on the relationship that puts people in bed, but much more severe. And when the melody plays, it really makes these individuals want to push it. That's the main symptom of this illness, a thing called pushing it. All these guys are saying to the girls, girl, I'm gonna make you sweat. And then they want to do this push it thing. And then everybody wants to do this pushing it thing all the time. Everyone then gets hot and bothered and wants to push it some more. And months later, because everyone was doing this pushing it thing so much, a new group of small, babbling, feces-expelling infants arrive from the storks in the sky. And the only way they can leave this harbor of love is by building a friendship, so that is what they do. And it's funny, when you think of this whole story, the only reason that these friendships fail is so they can decorate one another into relationships, and if they're lucky, possibly find these harbors of love, and then do this pushing it thing so that more friendships can be made. But one thing that we always need to remember is to bring a papaya, because like I said, a friendship can't first start if you don't fuel it with a papaya.
The last one is going to be Rachel, Nati, and Zamir, and they're going to talk about dreams.